Wait, look. Right above it. Holy crap.
What wanders in the woods is a mystery, but thanks to trail cams, we've stumbled upon some creepy sightings, spooky encounters, and terrifying creatures. Hang on, as here is a list of some of the most chilling trail cam captures that will blow your mind. Little girl with deers. Take a look at this eerie clip, supposedly taken on trail cam. The picture shows two deers with a little girl holding a blanket or perhaps a doll. But why is the girl out in the woods during this time of night? Well, after the picture went viral, people claimed it was a ghost. However, after digging into its authenticity, it turns out the picture is a work of Illinois photographer William Harper, who posted it on his website to leave it up to the audience to get amazed by the spookiness of it. Strange mutant deer. This ghostly trail cam footage shows a strange mutant deer-like creature in the middle of the night, as it happened to cross the camera with a huge bun upon its head. Is it an alienoid species, or just some deer with a bizarre antler growth? Although the spooky animal looks quite cartoonish with a broccoli head, some people speculate the animal appears to have trouble walking with massive antler growth that kind of look like a bunch of fibromas, hindering its vision. Giant skunk ape. For a fact, we all know that Florida is home to elusive and mysterious creatures, which is exactly why this man got stunned when he witnessed this spooky creature while on a hunt. According to Dave Sheely, he was looking for deer when he heard something moving in the water. It was running, except that it wasn't running like a deer or a bear. Maybe it's some kind of primate that's running around. Or maybe there's a real Bigfoot, a skunk ape, because primates and other animals don't usually walk upright. So, could it really be a Bigfoot? Thylacine sighting. In 2008, an unknown species of animal was spotted wandering around the tall, grassy fields of southwest Victoria. Although the animal was 200 meters away, people believed it was the extinct species of thylacine, also known as the Tasmanian tiger. The blurry footage shows a skinny, dog-sized creature with striped skin and a long tail. The features, however, bear uncanny resemblance to the Tasmanian tigers, but the authenticity of it being one is still unknown. Also, studies revealed that in the 1920s, when thylacine numbers were in trouble, they were sent to southwestern Victoria wilderness in hopes of saving the species. Mystery creature. A woman in Florida, while looking for her dog, discovered a mystery carcass on her property that looks like something she's never seen before. Unable to figure out what kind of animal it had been, judging by the looks of it, the figure seemed deflated and shriveled up with a thick and long tail. Now, not just that, the grisly carcass had tooth-filled snout, finger-like appendages, and long, sharp claws. Measuring up to 2 to 3 feet long, according to the woman, it smelled so much that she couldn't go near to investigate it. Maybe it's a Komodo dragon, a monitor lizard, or something way more lethal than that. Crawling monster. During the late witching hours, a trail cam happened to capture this mysterious creature emerging from the tall, grassy field, crawling upon its 4 legs. The skinny, skeletal-like creature appeared to be covered in a pale, pinkish skin, which prompted netizens believing it could be a human dressed up like so. But why would someone in their right minds dare to do this? Could it really just be a human pranking us? Or some alienoid species spying on us while we sleep cozily in our beds? FRESNO Nightcrawler. The next terrifying trail cam footage shows a couple of thin, stick-like creatures walking in the middle of the forest, dressed up in all white gowns. The eerie figures seem to be moving along the winds. Captured in Fresno in Yosemite National Park, the rumor has it that the so-called mysterious figures are actually called nightcrawlers, who, according to legends, are hovering around the trees of Fresno before the dawn of humanity, while protecting the forest, because apparently, for some reason, these cryptid creatures, besides having a terrifying look, possess no harm to human beings. Half dog, half human. In the state of Limpopo in South Africa, a terrifying sighting was made when this eerie creature appeared among other stray dogs. No, it's not a dog or a coyote, or any other related animal for that matter. If you look closely, the figure happens to walk on 4 legs among other animals. It seemed almost hairless except for its head. It looks skinny, and it does not have any tail. Is it an alien from a parallel universe? Or some sort of mutant animal species crawling on its skeletal-like legs? Let us know what you guys think of it. Strange creature. While on a night drive through a forested area, the driver was shocked to see when something unusual came right in front of his car. The creepy footage shows an unidentified species of animal, which apparently appears to walk backwards quite frantically. What is this? A monster? Or some sort of alien figure? However, upon following the eerie figure, it turns out as if a nocturnal animal is carrying the carcass of another on its back, and is so spooked by the bright flashlights that it kind of starts to run into the bushes. Bigfoot on mountain. In 2017, a mysterious video surfaced over the internet featuring this mythical creature roaming among the rock mountains of Utah. Giant, bulky, and black, hunters in Provo claim it's the Sasquatch living in the mountain range. Let's look at that clip again. Walking on its hind legs, the giant ape-like figure appears from the trees and disappears quickly into the mountains, as if it knows that it's being watched. Do you believe in Bigfoot? Let us know if you think this really is a Bigfoot. Giraffe in warts. This chilling clip from South Africa's Kruger National Park showing a giraffe that appears to be turning into a tree while scratching its neck along. Well, judging by the looks of it, the animal's neck is covered with strange bark-like bumps called lesions, caused by the papillomavirus. This kind of virus in giraffes spreads from animal to animal by oxpecker birds, who feed on ticks in their skin. Although it is not life-threatening, it is quite painful. The sores are itchy, and if persistently scratched, can open into wounds and infections. Bear with tapeworm. Take a look at this giant Alaskan bear. Now look again. The poor bear vigorously rubbing its back against a thorny branch. What's up with that? Well, the disturbing clip shows a thin, long, rope-like thing protruding out of the bear's back as it walks while dragging the whole thing with it. Measuring up to 6 feet in length, it turns out to be a 6-foot-long tapeworm that keeps irritating the bear as it tries to dislodge it by scratching its back. They live inside the bear's digestive tract, sucking up necessary nutrients and keeping the animal in utter discomfort. Also, did you know? Sometimes these creatures can reach up to a length of 30 feet while deteriorating the bear from inside out. Chupacabra in woods. Somewhere in Picayune, Missouri, a strange dog-like creature was spotted, but it was not actually a dog. The creature appears hairless, with a muddy skin texture, pointed eyes, and elongated tail, leaving a group of people to think it's some species of stray dogs deprived of food, whereas many happen to believe the horrifying creature could be a chupacabra, who might be stalking for new, fat, juicy goats out there to suck the life out of. Or perhaps it just happened to lose its way while out on a hunt. Creepy moose. Moving on, we have this freakishly abnormal moose roaming around the roadside with its head tilted to one side, and it's circling repeatedly around the same area in a most unusual manner. Well, judging by the looks of it, the poor guy is suspected to have been suffering from one of the most lethal parasitic viruses called the brainworm, in which the brutal parasite is known to hack the neurological system of animals, causing them pain, discomfort, and the like. The condition gets worse, with the animal acting unusually aggressive until the time comes when it finally says goodbye to this world. Monkey carrying knife. This next terrifying clip is from the bushes of Uganda, Budongo Forest, featuring a giant bulky ape carrying a large knife, as if being big and strong wasn't enough for this one. But what in the world does a chimp have to do with a knife? Well, as per research, there's something fascinating about sharp tools that kind of attracts them. which led experts to think that the animal might have learned how to use a knife by observing humans for an added source of protection. Because, of course, who would want to mess with a chimp frantically showing off its culinary expertise using a knife? Crows removing ticks. Covered in huge warts and ticks from head to toe, when this unfortunate guy decided to stop by the wildlife drinking station in southwest of Brisbane in order to quench its thirst, it somehow got lucky as two angels shaped up as crows decided to put this wallaby out of its misery. The clip shows a huge crow plucking the ticks off one by one out of the animal's skin, where after a few plucks, another crow joined the help and kept on doing so until the wallaby was out of this ongoing discomfort and pain. Deer throw up. You might have seen snakes swallowing giant animals, but well, after suffocating a deer, who apparently had not given up even after being doomed, and decided to choke the reptile from inside with its bulky figure. Hence, what happened next is in front of your screens. The poor bloated python started to vomit the whole thing up after trying to chomp down on it in one piece. The incident happened on a farm when this rock python, after getting stuck in the middle of its bite, decided to give up on this giant chunk of deliciousness by puking it out. Two-legged fox. Never seen before? This bizarre clip shows an even more bizarre species of animal wandering on the grassy lawn. Spotted by a couple, Phil and Jane Carter, in their garden in Ixton, Derbyshire. Upon zooming in on the footage, turned out to be a two-legged fox bolting upright around the property, exactly like humans. Perhaps the poor guy is searching for food, but the way it's getting along with this strange mutation seems quite unusual to the fox, leading people to believe that it could have been a genetic disorder. If not, then it might be a birth abnormality. Maggots feast. This insane clip shows a lifeless deer lying in the middle of the woods in the most creepy appearance. And if you think the poor thing is suffering from some bizarre skin disease, then let me tell you that in reality, this deer carcass is covered in millions of maggots feasting on it as it continues to decompose while emitting an extremely foul smell. And it will be a matter of a few days until the poor creature will be left with nothing but just the bones. Giant snake skin. Seeing giant snakes lurking in the forest is kind of obvious, but finding the skin of a giant snake is much less so. Speaking of which, in August 2016, a 12-foot-long scaly snake skin was found churned up in Maine. But before we get into who it belongs to, the important thing is, what's it doing in the middle of a Maine forest? Well, according to research, it appears it's a natural behavior of snakes and other reptiles to shed their skins off in order to progress their growth. The skin is shed in one continuous piece and can occur between 4 to 12 times a year. Unusual animal. This guy's hiking experience got even more thrilling when he spotted a creepy monster rushing towards him. Is this colossal being a monster reptile or what? Covered in a pale green skin, the giant beast emerging from the woods appears to be a giant species of crocodile, gradually moving as if it's on a mission to stalk its next meal while scaring away the people with its terrifyingly big appearance in the forest area of Georgia Pine. Deer skull hanging from tree. Among many terrifying sightings in the forest, this man stumbled across a deer's head stuck on the tree. Well, as mysteriously horrifying as it looks, it turns out the unfortunate animal, after getting into an encounter with another of its kind, was doomed to this tree, where the rest of its body had decomposed, leaving just the head to scare people. However, legends say a group of believers used to behead a virgin deer each year while hanging the head onto the tree, so that passersby could rub and kiss the skull in order to have a blissful journey ahead. Well, what do you think? Could that really be so? Snake eating eggs. Well, it might look surprising, but there's a species of snake who likes to swallow entire eggs besides all many other living beings, because apparently the eggs, especially those belonging to chickens, are their favorites. And speaking of which, bull snakes have got this ingenious ability to sense a chicken's coop. And unfortunately, if they are successful in finding one, there's no way to keep them away from it. The spooky trail cam footage shows this suspicious bull snake, who, after finding a nest full of eggs, was in awe of stealing them. Did you see how it swallowed the whole thing without even breaking it? Today's open discussion points towards this eerie figure rushing along a desolated roadside. A bunch of friends, while passing through this highway, were shocked to see a bizarre figure storming along at the speed of their car. At first, the group speculated it was an unusual wind, but when one of them took a picture of it, it turned out to be something beyond their imagination. With a skeleton-like thin body structure and pointed feet, the creepy figure appears to be walking on all 4 of its legs, where some are speculating it to be an alienoid figure, while others believe it's some sort of skinwalker searching for its next meal in the middle of nowhere. Let me know what you folks think of it in the comments section below. Strange furry creature. Out in the woods, a rather very suspicious creature was found lying lifeless on a bunch of fresh leaves. The footage shows a pile of gray hair with some sharp, protruding claws, but since the figure is almost covered in a mess of hair, it seemed quite impossible to identify the species. Some say it's a mole during its decomposition, while others believe it's a mutant animal. Well, whatever it is, thank goodness it's not moving, because, judging by the looks of it, the creature sure looks fearsome. Hairless creature. Spotted by a team of plantation workers in Sarawak, the creepy creature emerges from the woods, crawling on 4 legs, with sharp claws, short ears, and apparently without a tail, covered in the brownish-gray hairless skin, and with appearance so creepy and terrifying. The works, after believing it to be a monstrous being, started to beat the creature until the poor thing was left unconscious. But when a team of environmental experts dug in to investigate the whole situation, it turned out to be a rare species of bear, better known as the Malayan sun bear. Hence, the workers were condemned for their cruelty against an innocent being, and the bear was sent back to the jungle. Zombie deer. Haunting the people with its spooky behavior and creepy appearance, meet this white-tailed deer roaming around in pain and disgust as the poor animal goes through the last stage of the CWD, short for chronic wasting disease. The disease is believed to be caused by abnormal proteins called prions, which are thought to lead to brain and neurological damage while eating up the animal completely from healthy and sane. Take a look at this unfortunate deer that falls and stands and rolls over the grass to somehow get rid of its distress until it gives up entirely on life. Walking with 2 heads. Is this some kind of mutant deer, or what? Take a look at this spooky Sika buck roaming around in Hokkaido, Japan, with 2 heads. Well, upon closer look, it appears the buck had another Sika buck's head stuck to its antlers, which could be because of many reasons. However, one possible reason could be when 2 of them interlocked into a fight, this one happened to earn the prize, hence showing off its trophy on top of its head, while leaving the rest of the carcass to rot. Elk stuck in tire. Measuring about 600 pounds, this 4.5-year-old elk has been wearing a tire around its neck for at least 2 years. The trail cam picture went viral, and then the rescuers rescued this deer after searching for it. Thanks to the alert from a local resident, the officers swung into action to let the elk out of its misery. It took a series of several attempts and a few minutes to free the elk from its burden, as the tire was full of wet pine needles, dirt, and was stuck around the antlers. Hence, the rescue officers had to tranquilize the animal to remove the tire by cutting off the elk's antlers to get the tire off. Huge skull. From the Riangpara forest in Tripura, a mysteriously big skeleton was discovered while baffling onlookers with its spookiness. The discovery was made in August 2022 in the depths of a rubber plantation area, which after investigation turned out to be the skeletal remains of a boy named Bilad Riang. But the mystery of it being an extraordinary giant is still unknown, with some people claiming this specimen belonging to a science lab, while others think it could be because of a strange genetic mutation. Either way, the chilling video shows freshly intact bones with a skull filled with hairs. So what's really up with these bones? Any guesses? Thank you very much for watching the video. Do like and share it with your friends. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to not miss any of the upcoming amazing videos. Thank you once again